Hey everyone,
Hello.
It is Craig here,
Ryno.
and we are at a preview for Universal Mardi Gras, the 25th anniversary of the annual event that happens here at Universal Studios Florida, and actually, to that point, a little bit outside the parks too, because the party always continues in City Walk. So Universal Mardi Gras actually kicks off here this weekend on February 1st, Saturday night. The Roots are playing. Parade's going to roll through the streets. Food, beads, everything will be flying around. Beads. And so our purpose here today is to learn a little bit more about the event, and then after that, we're going to get to sample some of the food. So, yeah, you're just going to have to tag along with us and see where this goes.
Laissez-les bon temps rouler.
Let the good times roll.
We have an amazing concert lineup for you. I don't know if you've all seen it, but we have Luis Fonsi, TLC, Diana Ross, the All-American Rejects, and Marshmello. Yes, Marshmello! That's going to be a huge concert night. Cool in the Gang, yeah. Some of your other Earth, Wind and Fire, Belle Biv DeVoe, REO Speedwagon. Yes, it's a concert lineup for everyone, right? We have gorgeous Mardi Gras floats. You are seeing some of them right here, but we have given the Gator a facelift this year. He sparkles and shines more than ever before. The amount of glitter on Gator is enormous, and he is just beautiful, right? I'm gonna let Blake Broswell, our show director for the parade this year, talk about the new concept of a storyline that links all these new floats together. Also, we have exciting food and beverage items. Chef Ron is going to talk about that. We're celebrating carnivals all around the globe, right? We're also celebrating our partnership with Kern Studios, creating these one-of-a-kind Mardi Gras floats, not only for Universal Orlando, but for New Orleans and Mardi Gras parades around the world. So are we excited? We're really excited. The other thing we have, and you may notice I am wearing, some new merchandise that we have this year. And the one thing that everybody wants when you come to Mardi Gras, what is that? Beads. We have tons and loads of beads. So I'm going to kick it off and give this microphone to Blake Broswell, the Creative Development Group Show Director for Mardi Gras 2020.
All right, let the good times roll, y'all. So I was very excited, obviously, because it's, we have our 25th celebration that we're doing for Mardi Gras. And so when we went down to New Orleans to go work with Kern Studios, start developing this idea of what we do for this year's theme, we knew it wanted to be about, we look at the party as, you get here, the park's amazing, and then you discover this Mardi Gras party is happening, right? You discover this treasure of a party. So that is why our theme this year is Treasure of the Deep. And the way that the parade will be lined out this year is we'll kind of bookend the parade with our traditional floats. So up front, you'll have our riverboat, our tidal float, our jester float, and then in the middle, you're going to have our Treasures of the Deep theme that you're going to be seeing. You're seeing 3 examples of those that are out here right now. It's 6 floats total. And this year went a little different. Instead of just doing a theme, trying to tell a little bit of a story too. Because of the Creative Development Group, of course, that's what we do. We're all storytellers. So the first float that you'll encounter as part of our theme for Treasure of the Deep is actually the float over here, and that's our treasure map float. And once you see the parade, you'll see that on this treasure map, you'll actually encounter all the things that are along the path. So this actually kind of sets you on your journey to go find the treasure. You'll see the different things that you'll encounter, like these purple kraken over here that's on the float, which is our next float that you would encounter along this journey, and that is our Creatures of the Deep float. Our Creatures of the Deep float is gorgeous. There's a lot of really great creatures that will be swarming around that float that you'll see. From there, we keep things underwater, and our next float is the sunken city of Atlantis, which again allows us to have a lot of fun with the sort of treasures that you'll find there, those creatures. We've actually got the king and queen of Atlantis that'll be roaming there. And then, once you get past that, you've gone back out into the water, and you maybe have a bit of a shipwreck, and you end up over here with our shipwreck float, where there's all sorts of gold. And that's one thing you're going to notice, with each float, is the treasures. They're kind of different pieces of those Mardi Gras colors, the purple, the green, the gold. And there's a lot of gold to be had here at our shipwreck float. And since this is, it's the treasures of the deep, people that kind of go after treasures are known to be a bit piratical from time to time. So there's pirates that are trying to get this treasure, which leads us to my next, and it's my favorite named float, and that is our Battle for the Booty float. That's right. That's right. And so here, you actually see, like, we've started to gather some of this treasure, and now we've got these pirates who are going to battle it out and see who gets the treasure. Yeah! This is going to be tons of fun. That's right. Bringing some sword fighting to Mardi Gras. I love it. And then from here, we start to head out toward, once you've got your Battle of the Booty, well, the treasure all gets collected at where? That's X marks the spot. And that'll be our final float that you'll see in the theme there. And of course, this just loaded with all the treasures of Mardi Gras. But what's something that we learned on this treasure hunt? Guys, this hunt for the treasure, what we learned was the real treasure was the party we were having all along. That is right. Yeah, that's right. And then we continue on with our traditional floats from there, where we go to, we have our New Orleans float that celebrates kind of the music of New Orleans. We also then have our King and Queen float, and as Laura talked about, we have our King Gator float, who got a really beautiful makeover. If you're familiar to come to the parade, he is truly a finale piece this year. It looks fantastic. And some of the other pieces up front, like our title float, riverboat, they're going to have some nods to us celebrating 25 years of Mardi Gras that are pretty amazing. I'm really proud of this year's parade. I think I have a ton of fun. When you see the costumes and all the finished floats, they're just phenomenal this year. And of course, the other good part of Mardi Gras is what's killing me right now. It's that smell of that food. I am so hungry. So I'm going to turn things over to Chef Ron to talk about all the awesome food we're going to have this year.
As was just said, food is a huge part of Mardi Gras. This year we have a lot of great treats in store for you. 25th year, we're doing some different things. We're going to do one thing in our French Quarter where all of our tents are. We're going to do a revolving menu. So every 2 weeks we have a different menu offering that our guests are going to be able to come back to and look forward to. This is going to be something that we want our guests to repeat. Come back, we got something new for you as well. We have a lot of our old favorites, our gumbos, our po' boys. We also are bringing back the Bayou Boil that was very successful last year. We also have added our Feast and Floats. This is going to be in the La Bamba Courtyard. It's going to be a special viewing area for our parade. As well, there's going to be a dessert reception and some savory bites also. We do have a great dessert offering at Schwab's Pharmacy, our floats, some really creative ice cream floats that we're going to do. And today, you're going to be able to see that we do have a display table in front here, which is great for photo ops. But not only that, everybody's going to get to taste everything, right? All right, so yeah, we can get the smells in the air. Everybody's excited about that. Everybody's getting hungry. We're going to have in the back of the room all of our tasting areas. So thank you again very much and enjoy.
So yeah, that's some of the people from Universal there talking about the event. And now I think we have to move on to the food because that's what we care about most.
Yes, absolutely.
So just keep in mind with this, of course, it is a preview for us. So the food is, it's what we will get at the event when we go. But obviously, it's displayed here to us in a buffet platter. Yes. And not fresh made to order like it is at the event. So we're going to talk about it, give our opinions of the dishes. But remember, it's not concrete. We did not pay for it. And yeah, you'll have to wait to see if we come back to the event and try it like we did last year for those full, valid opinions, worth the money and all that. But you ready to dig in?
No, I'm always ready.
Okay. Ryno, what'd you get for round one?
So I got the crab etouffee. Was that what it was?
Yes, sir.
And I'm not a big crab fan, but it was very flavorful and very well cooked. I think if you are an etouffee fan, it might be like right up your alley. Then I also got gator bites because I will always eat an alligator before it eats me here in Florida. So I'm gonna. I don't know if any of you out there have been fortunate enough to have gator meat before, but it is definitely one of the, what's the word I want to say about the chewier? Not chewy?
Yeah. The taste is like chicken, but it's chewier.
Yeah, and I am always a fan of that, and I feel like it's got a I enjoy those. So those are really good. And then I got one of these andouille, chicken and andouille sausage beignets that I'm going to, not beignet,
Just say
good
po'
lord.
boy. Po' boy.
Oh boy. The beignet table is on the other side of us, and I keep staring at it because there's some.
He's already eyeing the desserts as he's making his way through the savory dishes.
I like it. I like the kind of crusty roll that it's on, and andouille sausage. It's got like a little slaw in here that's really good too. I don't want to knock that over. You got some of the same stuff though, so I don't want to just talk about this. Why don't you try the other po' boy?
Well, you eat your catfish one, and then you finish.
Okay.
You taste it.
What do you bet? I bet this red stuff is sriracha. What do you think?
It could be. Oh yeah. That was the thumbnail.
It sure is sriracha because now the very tip of my tongue is on fire.
Sriracha is.
Sriracha is. I know catfish is not for everybody. I enjoy it. It can be a little salty sometimes. I actually love it with this. It was like right on the tip of my tongue. I love it with the spice on it. And honestly, actually, I don't know. This might actually be too much. I was going to say if there was a bottle here, I'd add more to it, but it's nice and. I think maybe you'll enjoy this one. Yeah, so far so good. I'm enjoying everything so far.
That's right. I got all the same stuff as Ryno for round one. I mean, we're going to try everything. I'm just taking bites, though. I'm trying to not be normal chubby Craig.
Oh my
Starting
gosh.
with the crab etouffee.
Oh, I can't do that. I will be eating everything.
Yeah, I'm going to be with Ryno, even though he was a little nicer about it. I'm not a fan of that. So
It's too crabby. It's crabby.
it's really crabby. And then, it's just like, it's like rice in a cream soup that just slides down your throat. So it's not for me, but it's for someone out there, I'm sure.
What if it were 90 degrees outside? Would you like it better then?
No, no, incorrect. Go with the gator bite next. Yeah.
Flavorful.
I mean, they're like exotic chicken nuggets. So they'd work great with hot sauce. They'd work great with ketchup. You actually don't need anything. There's just enough seasoning on its own to make it interesting. Now the andouille. I took a much bigger bite than I expected. See, you did the smart thing. You did a pre-bite off yours.
Yeah, because it ends very
So
pretty.
that way, yeah. You're right, that slaw really adds a nice little crunch.
A little texture.
Yeah, a lot of texture, and that kind of balances out because, there's a little kick with the Cajun seasoning. I'll be honest, the chicken with the Cajun seasoning just by itself, like I could pull that off and just eat that blackened chicken right there. That's good.
Make sure you get some of the sriracha in this guy. Yeah, there you go. Right there.
And say, I didn't remember you saying there was also mayo, or not mayo, but the slaw in this one too.
Yeah.
But there is.
I think I like the andouille one better.
I think the andouille one would definitely be more popular. I'm a catfish fan, so I like that a lot. And it's sriracha, so it is nice and hot, but then again, the slaw kind of cools down that spiciness to it. I really like that little sandwich, so
Unless you lick the top with your tongue.
I'm still fine with it. I'm going with this order. I'm going number 1 catfish, 2 gator bite, 3 sandwich, and then 4 the crab etouffee. But the first 3, they're all in the top. Either one of them could replace each other on any given day. And the crab is
Get it out of here.
on the floor. Yeah. So we got to continue getting food though. Eating.
So one of the big things they're doing this year that I feel like, well, it's newer this year, is that, you know, Mardi Gras or a Carnival is celebrated in many countries around the world. So they're adding a little bit more international flair to the food they're offering. So I went to the next table that had, it was the Trinidad and Tobago, which is where this is from, sorry. It was grilled pineapple trinichao, which is grilled pineapple skewers, kimchi seasoning, and micro cilantro. Now here's the thing, it's got a little card on it and it said it contains soy, has sesame, it's gluten-free, and it's vegan. So this isn't even chicken. So, we'll see. I don't know where in my head I thought this was chicken. Did I say chicken at any point?
You said pineapple.
Yeah.
And then you said chicken at the last second. I don't know why.
I think because the lighting in here made me thought it was chicken. This is just a pineapple skewer that is actually like super refreshing and good.
It's served warm.
Yeah. You know me, I'm not a big cilantro fan, so because the micro cilantro is not as like present. But it was that was pretty good. Yeah. What a delightful surprise. What an idiot I am. The other thing I've got in here is from Brazil, and it's I have no idea how to say this. I'm gonna try. I apologize. Correct me in the comments. Pão de queijo, which is the warm cheese bread with guava dipping sauce. So it's just like a little nugget of bread. I've seen these around town before, you know.
Exactly, they're not uncommon, but usually always delicious.
The movie theater I go to, actually, this is one of the things you can get there. But the bread is, yeah, I know. The bread is like very like springy, hoppy.
Yep.
I'm so sorry. It's like stuck in my throat. I'm gonna say not for me, because I think when I think of cheesy bread, I'm a trashy person that thinks of like breadsticks from Little Caesars.
There you go. But at least you have your favorite.
Yeah. So, and then there's a cute little sandwich here that has the fleur-de leaf on it.
Did you call it the fleur-de-leaf?
Yep, sure did. What is it called?
Fleur-de-leaf.
Fleur-de-leaf. Fleur-de-leaf.
The fleur-de-leaf.
Fleur-de-leaf. Corey Martin is going to beat me to death with his crutch the next time he sees me. But this one is from Louisiana. It's Creole. It's a soft-shell crab slider. So crispy soft-shell crab, organic vegetable sauce, soft Kaiser roll, and Bayou aioli. I am, again, not a big crab person, but I like to try things, so.
Agora a gente tem que ver se os americanos vão poder falar pão de queijo. Pão de queijo!
This one, the crab etouffee was a lot more crabby, I think, because it was a lot more creamier, and this one has definitely got a nice little crunch to it with the slaw. I think the bread's kind of maybe a little dry on this one, but I actually enjoy this one a lot more than I thought I was going to. I can't describe the aioli to you, though. I don't really know this flavor. It's there, but it's not strong. It's like, I think the slaw is kind of overpowering it. I don't know, but the other two things I got, I can't talk about because I forgot a fork, but also, it's German food, and Craig loves German food, so I'm going to let him get in on that for you.
I will go in the exact same order that Ryno had his stuff in, so that way it's not confusing. But pineapple skewer.
The chicken is great.
The chicken tastes a lot like pineapple. Yeah. This to me would be like just that nice treat when you're like, oh, I want something sweet, but I don't want an overindulgent dessert. I'll have a nice piece of grilled pineapple, nice little char there. It's actually, I know it's very simple, but it's well executed, and that means more than anything else. So I think you had the Brazil bread next, or did you have the crab?
I think I had the crab and then the bread, because
I'm doing this one since I'm already holding it.
I don't remember.
I feel like you cost on this one for a lot.
It's been so long, yeah. I did. You're right, I did. You're right.
That's just wasted calories. So,
surprisingly not cheesy.
Yeah, not at all. So, moving on from that, I'm excited. See, I got excited when you loved the crab sandwich so much because, I feel like we had the same opinion of the etouffee. So then this one worried me when you said, oh, another crab sandwich. But I'm like, okay, well, if you like it, I should like it too. The thing I love is the presentation on it, because it's soft shell crab. So it's literally, this is the crab, deep fried. And so there's his little,
That's his like
little claw and
his
everything.
shell.
Yeah. Like, so love it. This is, besides having the fleur de lis on it, you also just have the, you know, you have the beautiful presentation on it. So very cool.
Just bite his head off. This looks a little creamier than mine too, but
There's a good sandwich.
Right? Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
it crunches just the right way.
And this crab just tastes. Pardon me for saying this. The crab in the crab etouffee with the sauce and everything, it kind of, to me, gives off the appearance of like, oh, this is the bad crab. This is a crab that's about to go get spoiled,
make
so
a
we're just
soup
going
out
to
of it
throw it in
because-
here, yeah. Whereas this feels like, oh, we just caught this, and we're making this delicious sandwich out of it. I will definitely get that again, as long as my wife's not around, who, again, she's allergic to shellfish, so that would kill her instantly. The German item that Ryno did not discuss or talk about because he didn't have a fork, in fact, was sauerbraten. And then they're also serving it with red cabbage, which is pretty traditional, and then a side of spätzle, which is German egg noodle. And I love sauerbraten. It is a slow roasted beef, and kind of like pot roast, just a classic like Sunday dinner almost type. And it's the first thing I'll order at a new German restaurant when I go, and base what I think about their food on the sauerbraten.
Oh, it's the base food for you.
It's not my favorite German item, but it's what I base on, because if they make good sauerbraten, then everything else will pretty much fall in line.
It's like meatballs at a graduation party.
Yeah. But this is good. I mean, it's falling right off. I mean, I'm struggling with it. It's a little bit fatty, but that's what you want. That's what you expect. So I'm struggling too much with it. I'm just going to stop. But the red cabbage with it, nice balance, really, really flavorful. The spätzle's really good. It's better than actually. It's better than a lot that I've had at German restaurants. That, like, I think it should be better at those restaurants. It's pretty good though. Just I don't know what the herb they tossed it in is on here, but it just adds a little extra flavoring to it. But yeah, so I guess we'll cut back to Ryno and let him finally try his meat.
I'm not going to be super graceful as Craig. It's just going right in the old
mouth hole.
Right in the old kisser. I think this is really good. They have cooked this. I'm going to refer to it as a pot roast, if you don't mind, but it's very flavorful. I feel like the meat is like, I don't know. This feels like I'm immediately like in a family dinner somewhere in a house, and being served this food, and it's got that really awesome effect. So that was definitely one of the best things I've had here. And I do like the spätzle. It's like Shell's macaroni and cheese almost, but like different texture. But it like is reminding me of that sort of like it giving me that homey kind of feeling with it too. Yeah.
It's kind of like in between like a pasta and then like a gnocchi.
Yeah, exactly. And I'd be interested to see how this gets served during the event too.
Yeah.
Like what the portion sizes are and stuff like that. So.
And I believe that's coming on weeks 7 and 8.
Yes, yeah. The food rotates, so it's some delicious stuff. But yeah,
So-
I think we should maybe try dessert.
Well, no, I think you have one more thing to try left, a vegetarian option.
Sorry, I thought you wanted me to talk about this out of order. I have a picture here. This was the Louisiana Creole cauliflower dirty rice. Black-eyed peas, Gardein crumbles, and Cajun spices. So this looks really good. It smelled really good when I went up there. Okay, this is only the first time I had cauliflower rice. I hated it. This is really good. If you do make this at your house, I would ask that you invite me over, but I would also ask that you make it spicier. Like if you were to, it's flavorful, but I'm we're a sucker for that spice. I would love just like a little extra kick to it. But I think this is a really good vegetarian option though. Yeah, I recommend this.
Yeah, normally I'm not the one who goes crazy about when they see that there's a vegetarian or vegan option at anything, but I love cauliflower rice. It's like probably one of the side dishes that I use more than anything else, and the fact that here they made it dirty rice, made it with all those fun New Orleans flavors, that to me is like a big benefit. But it's good. So I feel like the flavors are a little bit more muted. Maybe it's because we've had so many other spicy options so far that this just feels like this doesn't feel like it has any of the same kicks that a lot of the other food are having. And that's not a bad thing. I think this is a really well-rounded dish. Now there's a little bit of black-eyed peas in there too, so adding a different side of the dish as well as some protein in there. I would like to recreate this at home, and I probably will at some point. But I'd say it's a good option if you want something that's lighter and healthier. So I'd be willing to try it again once the event starts.
So they have a couple of the specialty drinks for us to try. There's actually 3 of the alcoholic ones and then 1 of the coffee ones. So they only let us go a couple at a time. Responsible, obviously. So I'm going to try the Girl from Ipanema, which is a gin coconut drink. And that is only available during weeks 5 and 6 of Carnival around the universe. And apparently is supposed to pair with the bread that we did not care for. But I love gin. I've never had gin and coconut together before either.
is it working though?
Surprisingly it is. It's like, as I go to sip it, I'm like, oh, this is going to smell like something maybe I won't like, but then I have it, and it's like the sweetness of the coconut cuts through that kind of bitterness of the gin, so
Yeah.
it is actually, this is really good.
Good. What's the
I'm
other
just gonna
one?
drink it all. Sorry. And then the other one I got here is the Blue Voodoo, which is a blue margarita.
And you do enjoy a good margarita. If it's
I
made
love
well.
margaritas. Sweet Lord. I'm assuming this has blue curacao in it.
How do you think they made a blue?
I don't like. Well, blue curacao is like super. Like it makes my throat scratchy. So this to me tastes like.
It's a no from you.
Yeah, that's a no for me, dog.
Okay. Much to my surprise, one of the specialty drinks this year that I did not expect to be here, because it's not super common to see specialty drinks that are made with cold brew coffee, but sure enough they have one. It's called the Hoodoo Cold Brew. Ryno doesn't like coffee, so that's why I'm going on this one.
Yeah.
It's pecan vodka cold brew. Yeah, pecan vodka cold brew.
Interesting.
Or pecan, or however you say it in your dialect region. I'm a pecan guy.
Are you a caramel guy?
Yeah, I'm caramel. I'm not caramel.
Yeah. I'm a caramel pecan. You're the caramel pecan.
Oh, yeah. See, this is kind of like, it definitely you get the coffee flavor, but for me, I'm a person who I like black coffee, but I don't like flavored creams, but this has the taste of like, oh, there is flavored cream in there because of the vodka is obviously giving it that extra flavor. So like I could see this for a person who has to have cream and sugar in their coffee.
Yeah, what's the sweetness level?
It's pretty sweet, but not like overbearing. But that's where I'm like, so like my wife, she only likes coffee if there's a flavored creamer in it, or she can do milk and then sugar added into it. But with this one, even though she can't have it because it's pecan vodka, I feel like if it was made with a different vodka, like a vanilla vodka even too, that would like trick her into being like, oh, because of the texture and the flavor, it actually tastes like this is a coffee with cream and sugar in it. So I think you would even actually be, you'd be surprised by it. We're not going to tell people on camera what you think, but yeah, I like this. I like it.
I missed a drink. So we have the High Seas Twister, which is a rum punch. Rum? Lately I'm getting old. Rum is starting to give me heartburn these days. Oh, this is actually surprisingly good too. I thought I can definitely taste the rum in here, but not like, oh, it's an excess. It's very smooth. Like a lot of times I feel like rum drinks in theme parks can get really sugary, or like with the margarita that was like way too sour for my taste. This one is actually, I would recommend this. I'm still a gin guy, so I'm still on that gin coconut thing, but this is actually really good. I'm very surprised. All right, the desserts have come around now, and you know, it can't be Mardi Gras without a king cake. So we have Universal's take on a king cake. I don't believe that you'll find a little baby Jesus anywhere. Those are in king cakes, right?
Hey, the baby, yeah.
I feel like that was the first year I started working here, Julie Martin brought a king cake in.
She put the Jesus in.
Yeah, it was a little
baby Jesus. It is just a baby. I don't believe it's in fact baby Jesus, but
I don't know why I'm assuming it is, but yeah, why would he be around in February? His birthday was in December. I don't know.
I also don't believe Jesus was ever in a cake.
Maybe they're just like, this celebration's so good, Jesus would love it.
We'll need one of our more religious audience members to let us know why Jesus is in cakes.
God is in desserts, that's why. This is actually pretty good. I wasn't sure because when I cut into the king cake, I thought it was like a little dense. It's not cake-like, and it's not donut-like. I'd say it's a little, definitely, like, it reminds me of a really, really dense, like kind of a flaky croissant or something like that, I guess. But there's definitely a lot of glaze and the sugar on top, so it is very rich, but I didn't dislike it. I don't eat a lot of sweets though, but I do enjoy it. You can also get beignets here, these little tiny beignet guys, so I'm going to take a little bite of this, you know? I believe here at Universal, the beignets, you can get like a dipping sauce with them. They have in years past, and it is one of those things that Eli always gets whenever he comes, but it's good. I don't really know what to say about a beignet.
A beignet is a beignet is a beignet.
Beignet, fluffy pastry, powdered sugar. Where can you go wrong in that, really?
You asked where you can go wrong with the beignet, and obviously you can overcook it. If you don't have enough powdered sugar on it, that's gonna kind of ruin the experience. Like, you need to have way too much powdered sugar.
Yeah. I do hate to break it to you, that one was really close to the heat lamp, so it's a little overcooked.
It is.
Sorry. We wanted to let you know that
I apologize for that brief interruption. They had something to let us know about. So, yeah, Ryno was correct. My beignet was way overdone, and it had the right amount of powdered sugar on it, though. But beignets, I mean, it's one of those things, and I know we're at Universal, so I shouldn't say it, but I genuinely only get beignets if I'm at Disneyland, because I like the Mickey Mouse ones. And like when I went to New Orleans, of course I went to Café du Monde and had their beignets. And so it's not, and we got them here last year, but beignets aren't like I've gotta have beignets thing. But I am that way about king cake. I love king cake.
Really?
Since the first time that Corey and Julie gave me king cake, like authentic king cake, I've been obsessed with it. And it's like, I yelled at Julie this past weekend because someone already sent her a king cake and her and Corey ate it together. And I said, and you didn't save me some? And she's like, no, the king cake I give you won't arrive for another couple weeks closer to Mardi Gras. I'm like, okay.
At least you know it's on the way.
You know what? since I'm too cheap to order an authentic Mardi Gras king cake, and I only get my one piece that the Martins give me, it's not something that's super accessible to me. So I will have to say that this does work. You know, it's almost like closer to a cinnamon roll than it is to a
I think
this
like even denser
pastry,
than a cinnamon
but it's a little bit denser than that, yeah. But and it's like kind of like you said with the croissant, but when you smash a croissant and
yes,
you know it gets a little bit extra hard, but
put like 4 or 5 of them together and like push down real hard.
But it's nailing the flavors, just not the normal texture of the ones that I've been given. So I like it. I'll still get it. But, you know, desserts, I guess, are just not for us. We're more about the savory items.
Yeah.
So that's the food. We'll have to see how it is when we actually come to the event, though. So let's see. I think next we're going to head to the tribute store and check out the first time they've had a complete dedicated shop here for Universal Mardi Gras. So we'll head there and see what's inside. Wow. Well, you know, you thought we were going to the tribute store, and we did. But then we somehow got transported to Cabana Bay.
We sure did, like magic. Like
yeah.
Voodoo magic.
Yeah, someone with voodoo powers made us come all the way to Cabana Bay. Now, our event's done, so we just didn't bother filming this outside of the tribute store, which if you've been to Halloween Horror Nights or Universal during Halloween Horror Nights, then you know where the tribute store is. It's in the same spot where the HHN tribute store is. And what do you think about it inside, Ryno?
Oh my gosh, I thought it was amazing. I think this is the best version of the tribute store they've ever done. This is the first time they've done a tribute store for Mardi Gras, but they've done it for Halloween Horror Nights, like Craig said. But this one, I was like, oh my gosh, this is so cool. It was like you go in and you go through what do they say? It was like a jazz hall was the first hallway, but then the first room where all the there's 2 rooms. So the first room is all based on like the Lafayette Cemetery in New Orleans, and so it's all kind of darker, and it's got like there's a photo wall with all the crypts in it, and you know the sound design in there is really cool too, because it's got like you can kind of hear like parade music echoing.
Yep.
Like kind of creepy, and like there's like a wind, like so they were like they wanted it to feel like you were in that cemetery where you could like hear kind of voices drifting along from other people that had been there were there at the same time. So I thought that was amazing. And then you go around the corner to that bayou room, and that was even cooler.
Oh yeah, no, it was. I mean, it felt like straight out of the Bayou House, Bayou of Blood that they did
Well, that's
years
what everybody
back.
kept. Well, that and everyone kept bringing up. What was the one with the boat that was twisted? Dead Waters.
Oh yeah, that was the name of the house.
Oh, okay, sorry.
Bayou
yeah.
of Blood, I think, was the scare zone where they did with that. But
Yeah.
it felt very much like that. Just had that Cajun. You're in the
like old cabin, and it had
Yeah.
the guy sitting there who had the like skeleton paint on the face, and I forget his name, something Saturday, but it was cool.
Yeah, no, in the merchandise itself, I actually, there wasn't a lot specifically for Mardi Gras and for the event. There's a t-shirt this year to celebrate the 25th anniversary that had like the gator float on it. And
It was a cool magnet. I
Yeah.
like that.
Yeah, little stuff like that. There was one, I think I overheard, I wasn't with the tour, but was one of the shirts featuring imagery from the first year of Mardi Gras.
I didn't hear that part, but I do know they said there was stuff that was referencing
Okay.
the thing. So
Then
there
that must
is
be,
some
yeah.
stuff, so that must be what it was. Because
Yeah.
I didn't catch what it was, but I heard there was.
Yeah, I think it was like there was a white shirt because it looked like it had classic Universal typography on it too. So I was like, oh, that's kind of like a little retro and cool. So I believe that might
That
have
must
been
be
it.
it then, yeah.
Yeah, but yeah.
Yeah, the other one I think has the gator float. on it.
Exactly. Yeah. It's the gator float. That's kind of the main theme they're going for it. But yeah, so that was kind of all it for this event. So we had the tribute stores you just saw, the food, a little bit of an overview for the event, and just as a reminder, this event kicks off on Saturday, February 1st, and it runs every night through April 6th. Did not get that
I was
date
gonna try
down.
and double check, and
I'll let you double check on that. But that's the parade and the food and the merchandise, all of that you'll be able to find every day while the
April
event's running.
2nd.
April 2nd. I was close. So yeah, February 1st through April 2nd, you have all of that fun. And then on select nights, pretty much every Saturday, one random Friday, one random Sunday, you have a concert by big name artists. And
One
all
weekend,
of
I
this,
think you got a Friday, Saturday, Sunday situation.
yeah, and all of this is free with your park ticket to Universal Studios Florida. So you cannot beat that. If you're planning on coming to Universal, you just get this added extra entertainment and atmosphere. So, of course, this is just a standalone video of sorts, a standalone vlog for us. But if you watch the DIS Unplugged Universal Edition podcast show that we have on YouTube and on audio versions all over the place, you can catch our coverage on next Thursday's show for that. So we hope you enjoyed watching us here at our little preview of Mardi Gras. Thanks to Universal for having us out to
thank you very
see
much.
it. And see you again soon. Les allez bon temps rouler.